I think you can go and do great things. But that voice in your head saying that you can't is the problem. The thing is, your story adds value. You get an idea and you take action on it instead of sitting on it for weeks.
Just a quick question, Evan, this time. I remember speaking to you a couple of months ago, I didn't get a chance to get on the live with you, dude.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of problems in my own life, personal life with my own mental health. I was wondering your opinion on not mixing, but a mental health affecting your ambitions.
Tons, dude. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
What's the story in your head? What are you telling yourself?
I let it get in the way. I just let it get in the way of my drive to do things. That's all.
But like what? What are you actually telling yourself?
I don't believe in myself. I don't believe it's going to work sometimes. Most of the time.
What's an ambition that you have, something that you want to do, but then the voice in your head is telling yourself, I don't believe in myself to do it?
One of them is finishing college, finishing my personal trainer course. A lot of time I don't believe in myself that I'm actually going to complete it. Other things are to go out there and do the challenges that I set for myself. Whether I want to do them or not is irrelevant a lot of the time. I just let it beat me sometimes.
So how much longer do you have to do your personal training?
It doesn't go back until July, I think it starts again.
Oh, so you're off until July?
No, I dropped out when I first started it last year. I dropped out. Things were not good. It's been a bad situation. And basically what I did is I agreed to do it again with them. But that won't be again now until the summer this year.
Okay. So listen, I think it's why I do what I do, man. I think the biggest problem in the world is people don't believe in themselves. Like, I think you can go and do great things. But that voice in your head saying that you can't is the problem. The way through is starting to prove to yourself that when you say you're going to do something, you follow through and do it. Because when you say you're going to do something, and then somebody else might believe you or not, but if immediately the voice in your head says you're not going to do that, you don't follow through. And then the next time you say you're going to do something, you don't believe yourself. You have no credibility. Your word is worth nothing to yourself.
It's just ripple effect. Yeah. You see, I'm aware of all this. Is what it is whether you believe it's going to continue for you long term. Sometimes you can actually put it in, but whether you believe your ideas are worth putting out there for other people to see. As you know, like my journey is to show people from the depths of anything to the best of anything. But then you don't believe in yourself. You think you're looking for attention. There's a lot of different aspects to that. So the basics. Basically, what I'm wondering is, how do you get the drive to not just believe in yourself, but to just put it out anyway, regardless?
The minute you come up with an idea for something, you put it out. You stop thinking about it. Like, what's one thing you want to put out?
Well, there's the homeless challenge that I'm doing. I'm trying to bring that all up as far as I can. It's a personal challenge. That's one thing. And then obviously I want to do the journey from homeless to personal trainer as well. But the thing is, I just feel like I'm always going, hey, look at me. But again, that is kind of what you're doing at the same time. It's...
You got to rewire it.
Yeah.
So that it's about serving others. It's not about you.
Right, okay.
When I first started doing my channel and all the content, the number one request on my YouTube channel is actually me. They want Evan Carmichael's rules for success. I said, why do you care about me? I mean, sure, I built and sold my first company, but I'm nothing compared to Steve Jobs and Oprah Winfrey and all these people. The thing is, your story adds value. You might think that sharing your story and saying, look at me, is selfish, is making it about you. It's actually the most selfless thing that you can do.
It feels selfish. I've got to be honest. It feels like, when you're telling someone and they're looking at you, you feel like they're judging you just for trying to do something.
I know, but here's the thing. Not telling your story is selfish. Because you represent hope. Even though you're not where you want to be yet. I get that. But you're better off than you were a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people who currently are what you were a couple of years ago.
And they might need that.
They don't. No, not they might. They do need it. They absolutely 100% need it. And they're not going to listen to me because I haven't gone through that. I've never been homeless.
Yeah.
They're not, easy for you, rich guy in Canada with all this stuff, right? Like, you're not going to listen to me. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I've never slept. I've had a bed to sleep in my whole life. Right? I've never been homeless, never slept outside, none of that stuff. So you represent hope. Even the fact that you're trying, the willingness to try, the willingness to get up and just do something is an inspiration. But if you don't share your story, you just look like another dude. Like, why am I going to listen to you? You don't know what I'm going through.
You know yourself. You have to make them listen to you too. You know, you have to give them a reason to listen to you. Like, you can't just put it out there and expect people to find you. Now, there's an audience for everyone, of course, and there's an audience for everything. But you can't just put it out there. There's also market research you got to do for it too. So when I'm trying to put together a plan for something I want to do, right? Then I worry about, will I market that properly so it actually works? Do you know what I mean? But then I also know through the map. Like, if you put it out now and eventually when something does make it, that'll eventually come back. You know, it'll always be there. It's never going away. You know, it's just.
What was the worst day of your life?
Wouldn't feel comfortable sharing that.
Okay. Can you, without specifics, like, you don't have to throw shit at anybody. It's like, generally what happened?
I witnessed a horrible crime a long time ago. That's pretty much, you know, it's that's probably the worst day of my life, even to this day. Nothing is ever, like, even being homeless isn't that bad, you know. It's just one of them. Like, I don't understand why you're asking me this stuff.
I'm gonna tell you, dude. Because a lot of people have also witnessed a horrible crime. A lot of people haven't just witnessed it. A lot of people have had it happen to them. It's not just seeing it, it happened to them, that horrible crime. A lot of people who have had that happen or they've seen it, they never recover. They live in negativity and the world's a terrible place and nobody's allowed to win and I'm never going to win, and they have a negative mindset for the rest of their life. You represent hope to them because you've witnessed that horrible crime. You've been homeless. You're taking a path where you believe the world is still a good place and that you can create something. Even calling yourself the homeless CEO is wild. Like, what homeless person thinks of themselves as a CEO? Go talk to anybody who's homeless and say, hey, are you a CEO? They'll think that you're nuts. I'm going to go build a big business.
I've been there. I've had that. I've had people say to me, what do you think you are? Some superstar. Like, that's what I'm getting at. That's the ego part where people just... Yeah. But that's the hater thing. You got to get used to the hate, you know?
But it's not even... Saying, listen, they don't hate you. They hate themselves. I'm serious. They hate themselves. The goal is to... You don't have to convince anybody. You don't have to go up to somebody who's homeless and say, hey, you need to change your life. It's putting out content and attracting people to you who are ready to hear it. Because everybody will have a moment of weakness where they say, I wonder if there's another path. And they're going to find you and what you're putting out there. And people will want to follow your journey. Heck, man, you'll be an inspiration to people who aren't homeless. People will watch you and say, I'm sitting here complaining about my crappy job and my unwillingness to go and chase my dream, and here's this guy who's homeless and chasing on his dream. What's my excuse?
That's kind of what I say that to myself, but I'm not chasing it, am I? You know, no. I'm not doing it. See?
This is a combination, okay? So you are doing it, you're just not doing it enough.
Right, okay.
So some days you need to be more gentle on yourself, and some days you need to be harder on yourself. If you're feeling low and depressed and like nothing's working out and I suck, then you need to be more gentle on yourself. And you say, I'm better than I was 3 years ago. I'm doing it. I'm trying. And on the days when you feel that you nailed it, that's when you go harder. Like, I could do better than this. I know I can do better than this. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna complete my degree. I'm gonna become a trainer. I'm gonna inspire people. I want to show them. I want to be a beacon of hope for others. It's through service that gets you through. It's knowing that there's so many people who look like you in terms of coming from the same background, of witnessing terrible things, of being homeless, and they feel like there's no way out. And they're going to see you and say, you know what? I can do it too.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah, man. Remind yourself that this matters to people. And think about who you were 3 years ago and talk to that guy.
Right, you're right. I shouldn't be thinking about I matter to people. It's about what I'm doing matters to people.
The message, so yeah, the message. It's not about you at all. It's about the message. The message matters to people.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So just remind yourself of that, because you can talk to the person you were 3 years ago in a way that nobody else can. I can't. Tony Robbins can't. Like, nobody can. And that guy needs help. Like, if that guy discovered you today, he'd be on a different path, a faster one. And a lot of people don't have, like, whatever was in you that made you turn to a positive place, right? Whether you came across a video or books, or most people who are in your situation are not positive people. Right?
I know. I see them all the time. Like, they don't have a whole lot to be positive about. That's the kind of the, you know, that's what the homeless challenge is. Like, I am still homeless. I live in a hostel, like, but I'm taking it to the streets. That's what the challenge is, to prove to myself that I'm capable of putting up with that kind of thing, you know. And I want to bring people along with me to do it, so they can get a slap of reality. You know, this is what life is really like. You know, it's more about appreciating showing people how to appreciate what they have. You know, instead of people get annoyed over the stupidest things. You know that yourself. Like, people get annoyed, argue with people for making the wrong coffee in Starbucks. You know, so that's what my opinion is, just trying to make things a little bit more moral for your own self-esteem, well-being, anything. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Something good. That's the point, I guess. You know. But yeah,
that the place that you're speaking from right now is real, dude. And that's what you need to remind yourself of when you're having the moments of doubt. After this is up, I'll post it to my Instagram. Download it, because it's going to expire in 24 hours. Download it, save it, watch it back when you're feeling low, because your message matters, dude. And I can feel it. I can feel it in your heart. Like, everything that's coming out is real. And you have the genuine ability to make a really big impact and serve a lot of people. But only if you keep going.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not going to work if I don't do it.
This hurdle that you're going, this hurdle that you're, what's that?
Believe, isn't it? It's your thing, isn't it? Believe.
That's it, man. But this hurdle that you're going through right now is just the next challenge. And you've overcome so many challenges already.
Yep, definitely.
You're strong enough, dude. You're strong enough to do this.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, I hope, and that's all I can do, is just keep hoping. You know, but no, you're right. Keep going, keep putting it out, and hope it reaches the right people.
So the best thing you can do today is take action. What's something that you've been thinking about doing for a while that you've just been putting off?
Quite a lot.
Great.
Quite a lot.
Pick one thing. What have you been putting off the longest?
Honestly, not a lot. That's the problem, you know. The only thing I've put out at the moment is I did myself, after I spoke to you, I did myself this stupid challenge. It was supposed to be 7 days, but I failed it. I did 5. You know, go out and video something, vlog it, and just make something out of it. Do you know what I mean? And I did it, and I did 4 days. Then I came up with the homeless challenge, because that was something that meant more to me, you know. And I did 1 episode of that, and because a lot of people let me down doing it, I kind of pulled away from it. You know, and I started focusing on my life then and start seeing if I can start getting gratitude that way. That doesn't fulfill me in any way. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather do something like this, that it's pushing me to do something bigger, you know? Personal training, that's probably one of the biggest things that I do want to do. But most importantly, I think at the moment is to go out there and just try the ideas that I want to try. You know,
So
I want to be one of them people that if I do create something big out of anything I do, I want to show exactly how I've done it. You know, simple, stupid things like standing on the street with a sign saying, this is for a YouTube video, come ask me what I'm doing. You know, things like that can show like a social experiment of how easy it is to get people to talk to you. You know, get people interested in what you're doing. Just simple little thing. You know, a lot of it's for self-confidence. What, sorry?
Go do that tomorrow.
You would say that, wouldn't you? You're right, though. You're right. I don't want to argue, but you're right.
Get your sign. What time is it? It's late for you now, right? It's like 12 midnight, right?
Yes, 20 to midnight.
Okay. So tonight, you make your sign. Go find a cardboard box. Go find a marker. Figure it out. And make your sign. And then tomorrow you wake up and you go to wherever, some park or some indoor mall. I don't know. I don't know how cold it is. Probably pretty cold.
It's pretty cold here, yeah.
It's pretty cold here. I'm in Canada, dude. It's cold.
Worse in Canada, yeah.
But you set it up and you do it. Something indoors. Or a subway stop. Something. Just to show yourself that you're the kind of person who gets an idea and you do something about it. You want to get off the streets, that's what you do. You want to build a business, that's what you do. You want to start a movement, that's what you do. You get an idea and you take action on it instead of sitting on it for weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I learned that one recently. There's a big case on the homeless corruption here in Ireland that I'm working on. We found something that's really pretty big and it's going to be taken to Parliament soon. But that's the kind of passion I have for just do what's right, you know. That's pretty much it. But I like your point too. I kind of have to do it for myself as well.
Film it. Do it tomorrow. Film it, and then send me something. I want to see something tomorrow.
Don't say that, because I'll just download this and post this.
No, this doesn't count. No. No. I want to see you doing your video with the sign.
Okay.
Even if nobody shows up, even if people walk by and like just laugh at you, awesome. Film it.
Film it.
I want to see it. Post it and send it to me. Send me a DM. Evan, like I promised, here is a video.
I will. Okay, challenge accepted. Fine, no problem. Yeah, I will do.
People saying in the chat, post it to your Instagram too. You got a bunch of people who love you now, so post it to your Instagram too, so they can see it.
Thanks, Evan.
Believe Nation is a special place with people around the world. Cool, man.
Look,
good luck.
I appreciate it, as always.
See you tomorrow, man. Much love.
And thanks, Evan.
Take care. If you have a podcast or interview show and want me to be a guest on it, I have two options for you. There's a link right there next to me. Go click it, and I look forward to being a guest on your show.